So first thing we're going to do is connect our RJ45 Ethernet cable into the port. So if we see this green light up here blinking, that means we have a connection established. A solid yellow light here means that a link is detected. And then there's some diagnostic LEDs here, and really all we need to understand is number 5 and 6, as long as they're solid green, and number 3 is blinking yellow, that means we have a good connection. So that's basically what you're looking for in your communications card to make sure you've got a good connection.
In order to use the web app, first we need to set up all of our communication settings. So in the main menu under communications, we're going to see that we have a Profinet card installed. And first thing is we need to enable the web app. And we need to make sure that we've got all of our network settings properly entered. So there's a wizard for that. We can go in here and we can set either a static address or if you're on a network. I'm just doing point to point, so for me I'm just going to enter some generic info here, and I'm just going to use what I've already got set up, but I'm going to enter an IP address 192.168.0.23. My subnet mask 255.255.255.0. And my default gateway is just going to be 0. So again, that's just for point-to-point setup, going to be different depending on your own local settings. But that enables the web app in the device and allows me to connect to it via a web application.
So let's take a look at the simulator by first entering the IP address to gain access. And the first thing we need to do is select our user access. I typically always go in as an expert because that exposes all of the different parameter settings, but of course, whatever you would like to choose there. And then enter your password. I can see right off the bat here that I've got a good status on my device. And again, that's duplicated in here in my overview screen. I can see that I have no diagnostic messages currently running. So I have a good status here. Uh, Before jumping into setup, let's just take a quick look. I mean, I can come down here and I can see in my favorites tab, I have a couple of things added. I can remove items from favorites. I can add a new item into my favorites menu here. So let's say I wanted to see Totalizer 4. And then Totalizer 4 is in here. And it hasn't been set up yet, so you'll see a red X there with no value, whereas volume flow and level, we do have good readings there, and you can see the units and everything that's shown there. So favorites is a nice menu that you can configure as an end user for quick information that you would like to see. We can then collapse that menu under our process values. There we can see all of the different process values that we currently have set up. Again, anything that's uncertain or not running will go back and forth depending on what's happening with my device, but that's all under the process values area. Identification, obviously, that's where you can take a look at, information about your device, tag info, stuff like that. Detailed setup, that's where we'll get right into menus similar to what the product has, like inputs and outputs, an application, setting up your display. All of your sensor settings are all in there. And then maintenance and diagnostics, your echo profile, data logging, calibration and maintenance schedules, all of that stuff's in here. So very easy user interface. A couple other things. You can change your language in here. Again, your access level, log out. We can view the diagnostic log and see everything as it's coming or going. So any diagnostic that's coming is being turned on, and you can see in here what type of alarm it is, its ID, what the time is, and what the recommended action is, and then when that diagnostic turns off. So quick overview on the web app there. If we go into the burger menu, and again, we can see we have a couple options here. Wizard, related documents, that's where you're going to find your GSDML and your EDS file settings for our device, so all the IP and if we want to change our password. But I'm going to go into wizards, and I'm going to start with the units wizard first and foremost. And in here, I can just select all of the different units that I want to set. So length, temperature, volume, volume, flow, and everything looks good in here. So I'm going to go through and I'm just going to set all these as the default. And we can see we get an acknowledgement that the wizard completed successfully. So now I'm going to go to the commissioning wizard and step through a setup. Going to do measurement point 1 and a level application is fine just for a quick demo. Of course, you can do volume or flow as well. Not going to change any of the tag or the descriptor information here. LR110 is fine. Let's do a fast application in liquids. Lower cal point 6, upper cal point 0. Yep, that's fine. Just going to use the defaults here. And I didn't change much, but you do see a summary of what was the setting and what you're changing before you do a transfer. And we can see that the wizard has completed successfully. So now let's jump in, and for me, I like to do pump control next. We only have measurement point 1 going here, so let's just do measurement point 1. And again, just a real quick setup to kind of show you the different options. So I mean, we can put in the number of pumps, we can put in the different routine options that we have here. Pump 1, let's put on relay 1. Pump 2, let's put on relay 2. Let's turn on at, I don't know, 4 meters and off at 1. And then pump 2, let's turn on at 5 meters and same thing, off at 1. Okay, and again, you can see a summary of what's been changed, the old settings to the new settings, do a transfer to the device. And again, we can see a successful pump wizard implementation. Basic control, very similar again. Just a reminder, the difference between pump control and basic control is we're just doing any set points in basic control. It doesn't really focus on the whole pumping routine or all the modifiers with it. So let's choose relay 3 and 4. We can see that 1 and 2 have already been assigned. And on 3, let's say we're going to turn on at 1 and off at 3, do a little bit of a reversal there. And then for relay 4, we're going to turn on at 2 and off at 0. And these could be to control gates or rakes, screens, whatever, motors, conveyors. These are just on-off set points for your relay. Okay, again, we can see what we've changed. Quick summary, do a transfer to the device. And again, we get a nice feedback there that that was completed successfully. And lastly, we're going to go through and set up some alarms. So again, point 1, let's do our sensor diagnostic alarms first. So we're going to assign those to relay 5, and this is going to include the LOE, cable breaks, all that stuff. Again, do a transfer there. Alarm Wizard, a little bit different. It's a little more complicated, so we're going to run through that one again. So start the Alarm Wizard. This time, let's do our level-based alarms. We could do sensor temperature as well. So in this case, I'm going to do a high-level alarm, and we're going to set that at, let's say, 6 meters with a 0.1 hysteresis. And I can see I've got 5 relays already assigned. I've got a 6 relay device, so I'm going to stick this alarm on relay 6 and assign that. And again, I can see what I've changed, and I will transfer that to the device. So once again, I got a successful alarm implementation. So I've just set up my device to my overview screen. I can see I'm still good. Everything is all set up here. Again, I can check my favorites. Take a look at my process values, what's set up, what's not set up. I can come in here and I can take a look at setting up each of these process values. I can adjust limits. So on all of my alarm settings, I can set upper and lower alarms and set the hysteresis in here. I can also take a look at editing my decimal places, all of that different stuff in my process values. Again, maintenance and diagnostics, this is where we would come down to see our Echo Profile utilities. We could set up data logging, you know, what the frequency is, which process values we would like to assign. All of that functionality is all in here in the web app, And if I take a look at echo profiles, I'm going to enable the echo profile, and we're going to turn off the timeout. Look at measurement 1, and you can see every time I change a parameter, it automatically downloads to the device here. In some cases, like with wizards, there has to be a button. I can set up saving echo profiles. I can look at saved echo profiles if I had any in the device. I don't have any right now. I can save one manually. I can set up the diagnostics to save echo profiles, and I can look at my current echo profile. So if I do a measure, so here we can see an echo profile. We can get an idea of the confidence, the algorithm, take a look at the profile. You can see the TVT line there. And then, like I said, we can go back and we can save that. So that's basically an overview of the web app. Like I said, all the functionality in your product you can find in here, and just a really easy to use, powerful tool to configure and monitor your LT500.